got so much fucking design on right now.
After the storm, Xukai and Tansongyun's emotional comeback that broke the internet. What if I told you that after months of silence, heartbreak, and headlines filled with fear, the story everyone thought was over was only just beginning? What if I told you that Xukai and Tansongyun, the couple who had once captured the world's heart with their love, their grace, their rare, undeniable connection, returned to the public eye in a way no one expected? And when they did, the entire internet stopped. Hold on tight, K-drama family. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. Because this wasn't just a comeback. It was redemption. It was healing. It was love, resurrected after the storm. For weeks, the world had been holding its breath. Ever since that tragic night, the night of Xukai's accident, rumors, tears, and confusion had swallowed the entertainment industry whole. Fans didn't know if he would make it. And when Tansongyun collapsed in tears at the hospital, that single image of her, hands trembling, eyes red, whispering his name, became the moment no one could forget. She disappeared for weeks after that. No interviews. No social media posts. No appearances. And Xukai remained silent too. Until one morning, when a single post shattered the quiet. It was 7:03 a.m. Tansongyun's account suddenly lit up with a single image. No filters. No captions. Just a photo of two hands intertwined against the sunlight. His hand and hers. Both wearing simple white hospital bracelets. Underneath it, 3 words appeared: "We made it." The internet exploded. Fans screamed, cried, refreshed their feeds 1,000 times. Within minutes, #Xukai Tansongyun trended worldwide. Millions of people who had prayed for good news finally exhaled. But that was only the beginning. 2 weeks later, the world saw them again. Beijing. A charity gala hosted to raise funds for children's hospitals, the very foundation Xukai had helped create after recovering. No one knew he would attend. And when he walked onto that red carpet, leaner, paler, but standing tall, the cameras went wild. Reporters gasped. It was the first time he had been seen since the accident. The flashes were blinding, but what made the world freeze was what happened next. From the other end of the carpet came her. Tansongyun. Elegant, radiant, wearing a flowing silver gown that shimmered like moonlight. And when their eyes met, you could feel the air itself shift. For a moment, no one breathed. Then, Xukai stepped forward. Slowly. Carefully. And when they met in the middle of that carpet, he reached out his hand, the same hand that once clung to life in a hospital bed, and she took it. The crowd roared. The cameras clicked endlessly. And under the blinding lights, they both smiled. Not the smiles of celebrities. Not the practiced ones for publicity. But the quiet, trembling smiles of 2 people who had been to the edge of loss. And found their way back. During the event, Tansongyun spoke briefly on stage. Her voice was steady, but her eyes told 1,000 stories. There are storms that break you, she said softly, and storms that teach you what truly matters. Some people hold your hand through both. And for that, I am forever grateful. Xukai's eyes glistened in the crowd. He didn't speak, but he didn't need to. Because sometimes silence carries more truth than words ever could. After the gala, fans noticed something remarkable. On Xukai's wrist, hidden beneath his suit cuff, was a small silver bracelet. The same one Tansongyun had worn months before his accident, engraved with one word, hope. And on her wrist that night, was another, newly made. This one engraved with his initials. The message was clear. They had survived the storm, together. That evening, Xukai finally broke his silence. He posted a heartfelt message on Weibo, his first since the accident. He wrote, "There was a time I didn't know if I'd open my eyes again. But when I did, the first thing I saw was someone who refused to leave. She stayed, through pain, fear, and silence. And because of that, I learned what love truly means." The post gathered over 10 million likes within hours. Celebrities, directors, co-stars, all flooded the comments with hearts and prayers. But what moved fans most was what came next. Minutes later, Tansongyun quietly replied. She wrote, "Sometimes, love isn't loud. Sometimes it's just, staying." The next morning, a video surfaced online, grainy, taken from a fan's phone outside the gala. Xukai and Tansongyun were leaving the venue hand in hand. He turned to her, whispering something softly. She laughed, that same familiar, heartwarming laugh fans had missed for months. And then, for the first time since the accident, he kissed her forehead. The video went viral within minutes. People called it the most healing moment of the year. Others called it the ending we all prayed for. But for Xukai and Tansongyun, it wasn't an ending at all. It was a new beginning, born from pain, built on faith, and sealed in the quiet promise that they would never let go again. Weeks later, they made a surprise joint appearance on a live broadcast, not for promotion, but to thank fans for their support. Xukai, still recovering but full of warmth, said, "I used to think strength meant standing alone. Now I know it means having someone to hold you up when you fall." Tansongyun smiled beside him. "And sometimes," she added, "the strongest love stories aren't the perfect ones, they're the ones that survive the storm." The broadcast ended with the two of them laughing, hands intertwined beneath the table, as millions of viewers around the world cried and cheered. It was just past midnight outside the Beijing charity gala. The air was crisp, the flashlights relentless. Reporters were shouting, fans were crying, but in the middle of that chaos stood two people, facing each other as if the world had melted away. Xukai was still recovering, his movements slow, careful. Tansongyun hovered close, as if afraid the wind itself might hurt him. Then came that moment. He leaned in, close enough that only she could hear. The cameras caught the angle, the emotion, the faintest movement of his lips. She froze. Her eyes widened. And then, she smiled, a trembling, tearful smile that shattered every heart watching. That was all it took. The next morning, every corner of the internet was ablaze. What did Xukai whisper? Why did Tansongyun cry after he said it? Was it a confession? A promise? A goodbye? Theories exploded overnight. But no one could have imagined how much truth lay behind those few quiet words. For days, their agencies remained silent. Neither confirmed nor denied the rumors. But fans, ever observant, began to dig deeper. They slowed down the video, enhanced the audio, read every lip movement frame by frame. And then, one fan claimed to have decoded it. Her post went viral within hours. She wrote, "I slowed it down to 0.25 speed, and I swear I can read his lips." Xukai said, "I thought I lost you." 4 words. Just 4. But they carried the weight of everything they had been through. Soon after, another clip emerged, this time from a different angle. The moment right after he whispered those words. Tansongyun's eyes glistened. She looked at him, not as a co-star, not as a friend, but as someone who had stood at his bedside, holding on when hope was slipping away. She mouthed something back. Just 3 words. Fans slowed it down again. And the discovery broke the internet all over again. Her reply, "You never did." And as one fan perfectly wrote beneath their post, Xukai didn't just survive. He came back, to the one who waited. Because sometimes, after the storm, what remains isn't destruction, but love strong enough to rebuild everything that was lost.